wanted to give you all an insight into the tracking inside Facebook Spaces and maybe give you an idea of how this works. Cannot believe I've been doing this for over a year. 2018 was big. 2019 is going to be bigger. What has changed in the course of the year besides my avatar? I don't know. I got merch, I guess. I got some stickers. Make sure you check them out. DM me if you want one. Join my Discord down below. I put the description of the Discord down there. It's really lonely right now because it's just me, but you can join too. We can talk about all the things you want to talk about in VR. But I've been doing a lot this year, and I can't believe I've been doing these videos for over a year. Thanks for reminding me, Facebook. But in the same course of time, over a year, a lot has changed. A lot of updates to apps like Big Screen, a lot of game reviews I plan on doing for you guys in 2019. So as big as 2018 was, 2019 is going to be a lot bigger. On this holiday season, I didn't get a VR specific thing like a VR device or something like that, but I got a VR related gift relating to the merch. You know, I got this cool coffee mug from my girlfriend's sister, you know, asked me about VR with my VR logo on it. Pretty cool. Asked me about it in the Discord, subscribe to my channel, like and do all the things associated with watching and liking these videos. But if you're like me, you heard all the negative things in 2018. VR doesn't have a killer app, sales are down, but like, that can't really be further from the truth, because the number of headsets on Steam doubled through 2018, right? Like, Steam usage is up according to the devices used, and the Oculus grew by 85%, HTC Vive grew by 65% in terms of usage, and Windows mixed reality headsets also grew in that time frame. According to the IDC and data they gathered, and reported on by VentureBeat, VR market grew almost 10% in Q3, with Sony and Oculus making up the largest gains of this. The VR trends show that Sony will likely still be the #1 device manufacturer and shipper of VR device, followed by Oculus, which is quickly catching up. So if you didn't buy VR for your family this season, you should take a note from businesses, because they are doubling down. Businesses, commercial businesses like Walmart, but like businesses in terms of like arcades and entertainment and like pop-up businesses are also getting into it. More businesses are starting to adopt VR uses, from, you know, plane inspections with Boeing to football trainings with QBs, to retail and military. They're companies that specialize in these, like Striver. You know, they're actually doing a training in VR about how to maintain composure during a robbery, right? Like that immersive learning. According to that VR Scout article, it teaches you how to respond as a retail salesperson during an armed robbery and a smash and grab scenarios. Who hasn't seen like iPhone stores getting looted, right? This is a company that really buys into learning as an immersive tool, and they built this experience and seem to be profiting through it. You know, Macy's is putting them in department stores so that you can experience a full layout of what you are potentially going to purchase. Newegg just published an article reporting that the Oculus Rift is the #1 device for these businesses like Macy's and Verizon to use in stores and Walmart, as opposed to Sony, who's completely owning the consumer market. And PC Mag kind of reflects that, right? They put Oculus Rift as their #1 choice, and Sony VR is their #2. I can go on and on about like how Walmart's using it, how the military is using it for trainings. Actually, the military got like a $400 million contract with HoloLens to put mixed reality headsets into the field, right, for soldiers to detect and defend in active combat zones. It's crazy. That's about roughly 100,000 headsets on soldiers. But I'll let you just know that if you're not engaged in VR at this point, you run the risk of getting left behind, man. There's still hope, though, since not everyone has the know-how or the money to own a VR device. We're going to see a lot of, like, a huge boom in, like, VR-related spaces, arcades, and experiences, mostly centered around, like, Las Vegas. I want to bring you those reviews. I want to go to those and, like, tell you about them. I have a few planned for Q1 trips. And these experiences are like the perfect connector because people want to try it for the first time. They may not have the money, they don't know what they need, they're not quite sold on it. So this bridges the perfect gap, and like I wish that, you know, more places than just Vegas adopted these. Like LA has one, New York City has another that I did a video on. There's so many great experiences that I just want to check out and report to you, like Hologate, which is like this multiplayer sort of like combat scenario that was at a World's Fair, SF, World's Fair Nano. Sorry, scratching my back. VRLA is another one. People are like coming up to me that I work with or like that I know are like, you should try this. I was in New York, I was in Vegas, and I went here. I went to a party at E3 where they had booths set up with VR experiences. So I'm at this party with people walking around me, but I'm in VR playing, you know, Robo Recall. So a lot of things are happening in the VR arcade entertainment space, but mostly centered around Las Vegas. So if you're curious about it, you want to take a trip, Vegas is probably the place for you. Unfortunately, I didn't go to CES this year, 2019, and it seemed like a huge year for VR at CES, and it's in Vegas every year. So I really dropped the ball this year. But you know, there was the usual. VR had a pretty decent presence there. In terms of device and hand-on demos and haptic suits and walking sims. I even saw like a seated VR coaster experience at CES, which was kind of cool. There are a lot of announcements. Most importantly, like HTC Vive had like a huge launch where they talked about the Vive Pro Eye, which is their tracking. They revealed the Vive Cosmo, which is kind of the standalone thing, and their Vive reality system, which is kind of waning them off of Steam, in addition to like their Viveport subscription service. So they're really, you know, clamping down on the VR ecosystem, kind of trying to compete directly with Oculus, I'd imagine. Pimax debuted new hand trigger controllers. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is I didn't go to CES this year, which was in January 2019, and I should have gone. I don't know why I didn't, just a personal choice, but I will be there next year. I posted about my visit to the New York space. Check the reference link below. Since I talked about it, I'll post about it. But I'd invest in VR in 2019 however you can. Education, hardware, learning about developing for it. I could just imagine Jim Cramer being like, put it all in VR. You know, anybody know Jim Cramer, Mad Money? Anyway. With the Vive Focus and the Lenovo Mirage Solo, the Quest Go, Magic Leap, bunch of standalone devices for cheaper. Well, I threw Magic Leap in there, not exactly cheap. These device headsets the bar is just getting lower and lower and lower and lower. So if you're thinking about VR, now is the time to act, because you run the risk of getting left behind, and you don't want to be the old person in the room who's like, I prefer the days when I had controllers on a flat screen. Embrace it. The future is now. Look forward to making more videos for you. I got some great reviews coming up. I got some cool videos I'm working on now, trying to do things in tandem. Sorry for the delay, but 2019 is looking big. Thanks again for watching. Talk to you soon.